her place in history. She's been excluded from too many things. She's been mistaken.
Cheryl White broke barriers at Thistledown when she rode her first race back in 1971. She went on to become America's first black female jockey, but her brother says she's still vastly unknown, even though she achieved. Now, earlier we showed you how Cheryl White went on to win more than 750 races throughout her career. She passed away back in 2019.
And now her family working to continue her legacy. CNN New Yorker shares part 2 of this Cleveland Black history legend.
In 2021, Raymond Jr. got a call from New York Times reporter Sarah Maslanier, who wanted to know more about his sister, Cheryl.
Sarah contacted me. I said, yeah, by the way, we have a race in Cheryl's name in 3 days. And she said, well, can I come to it? I said, yeah. So she came to it, she brought a photographer, and the rest is kind of history. We're kind of connected. It was an instant bond, instant connection, and we called her family right from the beginning.
So I heard about her story, and I was really stunned that me, again, this big horse nerd, didn't know about it. I found this 1971 magazine with this beautiful girl beaming from a horse. It said, "Teenage girl breaks barriers on the track." And how could I not know her? That was painful to me. How could it be moldering on eBay and not, in the Hall of Fame where she belongs?
Maslanier says Cheryl was an athlete in a sport that has been slow and late to fully celebrate the contributions of blacks and women. So she and Cheryl's family joined to set the record. Raymond Jr. and Maslanier co-authored a children's book released last year in September, The Jockey and Her Horse, inspired by Cheryl White.
I'm an investigative reporter, and so I sat down and interviewed Raymond deeply and pulled these threads out of him about Cheryl's life. And it's important to note that it is a work of fiction based in fact, because we wanted to tell people the story of the erased larger legacy of that enslaved history of the sport. So we incorporated that into the story. So Cheryl, our character, goes on a journey of discovery herself and learns about this erased legacy. And that does fit true to her narrative, because she didn't know. She didn't know she was on the shoulders of greatness.
Raymond Jr. and the family also created the Cheryl White Project to, quote, ensure that the legacy of America's first black female jockey doesn't get lost to bygone memories. They're using the book to promote literacy in schools and at the same time share Cheryl's story to encourage others. Raymond Jr. and Maslanier say the story of how Cheryl White galloped into history as the first black female jockey will no longer be forgotten.
I like to say that we didn't write this book for kids to necessarily become jockeys or get into horse racing, which we wouldn't mind seeing that happen. But we want them to be able to, reach their goals. Anything's possible if you really want to do it. Cheryl wanted to be a jockey.
Reporting in Cleveland,
The time was right. And so we've done a lot, and we're not done. So that's the whole thing. We're not done, we're not done, we're not done.
CNN New Yorker, 19 News.